Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
Oh my God, girl, put your purse down and order a double because you are not going to believe the weekend I just had. I am literally shaking just thinking about it. You know how excited I was about this trip, right? I've been talking your ear off about it for weeks. I haven't had a proper holiday in ages, literally ages, and I just wanted everything to be perfect. I needed a break. I needed romance. I needed peace. Instead, I got a psychological thriller. I am not even joking. So let's rewind. You know I planned this entire thing, every single detail. I picked the destination because frankly, if I left it up to him, we'd probably end up sitting on his couch watching Netflix and calling it a staycation. No, I wanted a real getaway. I booked the hotel, I planned the route, I paid the deposits. I did the emotional and financial heavy lifting. All he had to do, literally the only thing he had to do, was get in the car and be a pleasant human being. Is that too much to ask? Apparently for a 31-year-old man, it is climbing Mount Everest. The road trip itself, a disaster, a nightmare. We get in the car and within 20 minutes the whining starts. It wasn't just a, oh, my leg is asleep kind of thing. It was this constant, low-level drone of negativity. My back is sore. I'm so tired. This seat is uncomfortable. How much longer is it? Girl, I was tired too. I've been working my ass off, but did I complain? No. I sat there, gripping the steering wheel, trying to keep the vibes high, trying to play good music, just biting my tongue until it practically bled. I was suffering in silence to keep the peace. And here's the kicker, I tried to fix it. I'm driving and he's moaning about his back, so I said, "Babe, let's pull over, let's stretch. There's a rest stop right there." And what does he say? "No, let's just push through." Okay, fine, we push through. 10 minutes later. I'm so sore. I swear to God, I almost swerved into a ditch. I told him again, "We can stop. There are scenic lookouts. We can get coffee." Nope. He refused. He wanted to do sightseeing, allegedly, but every time I offered to actually do the sightseeing, he shut it down. So we just drove in this thick, suffocating cloud of his misery. It felt like I was chauffeuring a toddler who missed nap time, not going on a romantic getaway with my boyfriend. By the time we got to the hotel, I was already frayed. You know that feeling when you're just trying so hard to have a good time that your smile feels glued on? That was me. We get into the room and it's nice. Finally, we can relax. We start unpacking and we're trying to pivot the conversation to something lighter. We start talking about travel, about how we need to get out more, live life, seize the day, blah, blah, blah. Then he drops this gem. He looks me dead in the eye and says, "You know, when we get back home, we should really do more nature things." I froze. I literally paused while folding a shirt. "Nature things," I repeated in my head. "You know this man, right? You know he has his little boys' club friends. He goes hiking with them. He goes on these long, rugged outdoor adventures with his bros. He has the gear. He has the enthusiasm. But with me, I looked at him and I tried to be calm. I really did. But the audacity was choking me. I said, "Babe, when we are together on the weekends, you never want to do that stuff. You're always too tired. I have asked you multiple times to go for walks after dinner. I've suggested going somewhere nice on a Sunday after we wake up. You always say no. And look, it's not like we see each other every day. We both work full time. We really only get the weekends to hang out. So if he's shutting me down on Saturday and Sunday, that means we never do it." I thought I was making a valid point. I thought I was just highlighting a reality so we could fix it. Girl. I was not prepared for what happened next. It was like I pressed a button labeled self-destruct. He didn't just get defensive, he spiraled. It was immediate. One second we're talking about hiking, the next second I am being verbally pummeled with excuses and accusations. It was so fast, I felt like I was at the circus standing against a board while a knife thrower was chucking blades at my head. Whiz, 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 first came the denial. "What do you mean?" He says, looking at me like I'm speaking Mandarin. Then came the excuses. "You know I'm always tired on the weekend. I don't feel like going out. I'm tired after work on Saturday." Okay, so you're tired on Saturday. What about Sunday? He literally said this, I am not making this up. He said, "Well, it always rains on Sunday. We've been unlucky." It always rains on Sunday. Since when? Does he live in a monsoon belt that only activates on the 7th day of the week? It was such a bold-faced lie. I know for a fact we have had sunny Sundays where he just sat in his boxers playing video games while I begged him to go to the park. But he didn't stop there. He was just revving up. Then came the deflection. You always bring up the past. The past? I'm talking about last weekend. I'm talking about a current pattern of behavior. How am I supposed to address a recurring issue without mentioning that it has, in fact, recurred? But no, apparently having a memory makes me the villain. Then, and this is where my blood started to boil, he pulls the victim card. He throws his hands up and says, "It's like you're making me out to be an asshole." I just stared at him, speechless. And just when I thought he couldn't possibly stoop any lower, he delivered his final, masterful blow. He looked at me with these sad puppy dog eyes and said, "I feel like you don't want me here. I feel like you'd rather be here with someone else, but you only picked me because I'm your boyfriend." I was floored. My jaw hit the hotel carpet. I planned the trip. I paid for the trip. I drove the car. I listened to him whine for hours. I begged him to stop so he wouldn't be in pain. And now, because I pointed out that he doesn't walk with me on Sundays, suddenly I am the one who doesn't want him there. Suddenly I am settling for him. It was such a manipulation tactic. He wanted me to scramble. He wanted me to go, "No, no, baby. I love you. I want you here." And forget entirely about the fact that he treats me like a second-class citizen compared to his hiking buddies. He wanted reassurance instead of taking accountability. And the crazy part is, he makes time for these friends, right? He goes on trips with them, and then he comes home to me and complains about them. He tells me how the trip went wrong or how annoying they were. So let me get this straight. He gives them his energy, his nature time, and his best self, and I get the complaints, the exhaustion, and the refusal to leave the house. And when I ask for a crumb of that energy, I'm bringing up the past and making him feel unwanted. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. All I said was, "You never want to hike with me." That's it. And his response is basically, "Let's do it more." When? When exactly? When it suits him, which is apparently never. Or does he just like the idea of being the kind of boyfriend who hikes without actually having to put on the boots and walk next to me? It's all performative. He wants the credit for the suggestion without the effort of the execution. And you want to know the absolute cherry on top of this distinctively crappy Sunday. You want to know the detail that made me want to scream into a pillow until my vocal cords snapped. It was my birthday, that night, that argument. The "you don't want me here," the "it always rains on Sundays," the "you make me the asshole." That was my birthday celebration. Happy freaking birthday to me. I sat there in that hotel room on my birthday, realizing that I had dragged a man on a holiday he clearly didn't appreciate, only to be told that I was the problem because I wanted to spend time with him. I felt so lonely. Honestly, I would have had a better time if I had come alone. At least then I could have stopped the car when I wanted to. At least then I could have gone for a hike without being told it was raining when the sun was clearly shining. I just don't know what to do anymore. Is this normal? Am I crazy for thinking this is absolutely unhinged behavior? It felt like he was picking a fight just to avoid admitting he was lazy in our relationship. I'm exhausted. I feel like I'm dating a wall that occasionally yells at me, "Pour me another glass." Seriously. Leave the bottle. I have a feeling this trip is going to be a long one, and we haven't even gone to dinner yet.